This is Qtv News and I am Jaina Bosonko. Thanks for joining us. First, the main local, international and sports news headlines. President Barrow has visited more development projects, including laying the foundation stone for the replacement of the born-down market in Basse, and has inspected ongoing projects at Basse and Fatoto bridges, which are part of the wider roads and bridges project in the Upper River region. A creative industries accelerator program to train 30 promising entrepreneurs has been launched by the Youth Empowerment Project and their implementing partner. The Ministry of Health receives a donation of a 40-foot container of medical supplies and pharmaceutical supplies. In international news, Pope Francis becomes the most senior religious figure to express dismay at the way capitalism has responded to COVID-19. World Animal Day was celebrated on 4th October. We look at how it was marked in the Gambia. And in sports, on a weekend of sporting shocks, football giants Man United and Liverpool are trashed and the hot favourite for the London Marathon is beaten. Current English Premier League high flyers Everton have signed a Gambia-born youngster. Those were the main headlines, and now the news in detail. Do stay with us. Thank you for joining us. Now, work on a new market to replace the burnt Basse market is set to commence after President Barrow laid the foundation stone on Saturday for the project at a well-attended event in Basse Upper River region. Aliu Sise reports.
On the night of 24 February this year, a serious fire incident ravaged the Basse market, leaving vendors and residents hopeless and in tears. Goods worth over $600 million and valuable items all perished in the inferno. Soon after, President Barrow visited the scene and promised to build a modern standard market for the people of the provincial town and donated $2 million to the victims. 7 months on, President Barrow returned to Basse to fulfill the promise to build a new market, with the laying of the foundation stone and commencement of the construction project. The work, funded by the government to the tune of $100 million, is contracted to Gay and Gigo construction firms who are expected to complete the project by June 2021. The market serves not only the people of Basse, but the entire region and beyond. President Barrow is proud to have met his dream as part of his government's comprehensive national development plan.
Unlike my last visit, this is a moment of hope, but not despair. It is an occasion of joy, but not sadness. And it is a day of thanksgiving, but not gloom. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the new Basse market will be built to the modern international standards and of high quality. It will accommodate 185 single shops, 2 mini markets, a set for about 35 women vegetable sellers, and an order for 25 fishmongers and butchers.
He renews his commitment to serve the interests of all Gambians for the progress of the country.
The construction of the Basse market will be a significant contribution towards the realization of the goals of the NDP. The project is also a step towards the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. We will continue to be guided by the targets of the NDP and the SDGs. As detailed out in the National Development Plan, my vision for the new Gambia is a country where the highest standards of good governance are upheld. Citizens enjoy access to basic services and the enabling environment is created for the private sector to thrive.
Ibrahim Cham, Director General of GAMWorks, said the 2 contractors emerged winners after an open tender. Seluba, head of Basse Town, Mabintu Banta Kamara, women leader, Mohamed Magazi, National Assembly member for Basse, Sambaba, newly appointed URR governor, Musa Drame, Minister of Lands and Local Government, and Bailamin Job, Minister of Works, were full of praises for the Gambian leader for fulfilling his promises despite the economic impact of COVID-19. They are hoping the market will further boost business when completed. Fode Danjo, chairman of Basse Area Council, says the council used to collect $2 million revenue from the market annually, but has so far lost $1.5 million in taxes since the incident.
It was a great revenue source. So being the case, we are thankful to the President and the Gambia government for injecting new lifeblood into us again.
Chairman Danjo appeals for the government to help build 10 kilometer inner roads in Basse with a good drainage system. There is an urgent need for a new market for the vendors who are elated by the development. Reporting for Qtv News from Basse in the Upper River region, I am Aliou Cisse.
President Barrow has inspected ongoing works at the Basse and Fatoto bridges, which are part of the wider roads and bridges project in the Upper River region. Funded by the People's Republic of China, the work is expected to complete by August 2021. Aliou Cisse has the rest of that.
The inspection tour to both in Fatoto and Basse bridges by the President forms part of his weekend visit to rural Gambia to lay foundation stone for development projects and inspect sites of ongoing projects. The President, accompanied by the senior government officials and the Chinese ambassador, expressed satisfaction with the progress of work despite the COVID-19 pandemic.
I think this is a clear manifestation of commitment, the commitment of the Chinese government to Gambia government. This is a clear indication that our bilateral is really working. And we are really happy about that. This is not about politics. This is about Gambia. This is about national duty. So once more again, I have to seize this opportunity to thank the Chinese government, the President of China, through the ambassador here. The former ambassador and this ambassador, they have been very, very committed to our cause. That's why even COVID, they gave us support under difficult circumstances. So they are our friends.
The completion of the would-be toll bridges will connect Basse and Fatoto with Woli and the country in general, therefore enhancing free movement of people and goods. When completed, the Basse Bridge will complement the ongoing construction of 13-kilometer Yerobawal-Basse Road, which connects Laminkoto-Pasamas Road. On the environmental impact of the project, Basse, particularly the area around the bridge, was quite prone to floods during the past rainy seasons, but the ongoing bridge construction has helped prevent flood this year.
So you see, this bridge have made a big difference in the life of the people already. The market used to move. All the people who were at that market, all the vendors, everybody. You see how big that market is? Everybody has to pack every small thing to move with it. It's closed for the season. After 4 months, then you come back again. But this year, I didn't hear any complaint about Basse. So you see, because of this bridge, you know, it have made a big difference because it have blocked the waters passing through.
On Sunday, the President presided over the inauguration of the newly built 18-kilometer Kalen-Bansambush Town Road. The construction was contracted to Araski. Speaking Mandinka, President Barrow promises more development projects, reminding the crowd that his mission is to impact positively on the lives and livelihood of the people. He announces that his government and World Food Programme intend to provide a second round of food aid supply to those affected by the COVID-19. He calls on Gambians to join him in advancing the development of the country. The new road has now put to history the challenges faced traveling on the road. Scores of speakers, including Governor Abasanyang, Chief of Same Moro Jawla, and Tourism Minister Hamad Nkeba, commended the President and his government for the timely completion of the project while advocating support for the President. Motke Sise, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Works, welcomes the completion of the project.
This road is an addition to the Laminkoto Pasimas road, like the Basse Yerobawal road, which is also 13.1 kilometers and will be constructed to paved, just like this one. We are also adding the Mbaikunda Sidununku and beyond as a feeder road, which is also 17 kilometers.
The President also made a brief stopover at the National People's Party headquarters in Basekoba Kunda, where he preaches unity of purpose among his party militants. Reporting for Qtv News, I am Aliou Cisse.
The Andandor Creative Industries Accelerator program was launched on Monday by the Youth Empowerment Project in collaboration with its implementing partner Innovate Gambia. I attended the opening ceremony and let's take a listen. Over the course of 1 year, the Andandor Creative Industries program will train 30 promising young creative entrepreneurs in the creative arts industry, ranging from models, actresses, poets, journalists, amongst others. The entrepreneurs will benefit from tailored business support services, industry-specific technical and financial support, market linkages and mentorship from both local and international business leaders.
The main ambition of this Andandor program is to ignite, support the creative industry, which we feel can be a great avenue to not only create employment, but to support young people into driving the economy in a very interesting way. And many of you are not on the same wavelength in terms of your businesses, but the program has been designed in such a way that based on your status or in terms of your business, you'll be given the adequate support in that area.
The Director of Operations, Learning and Development at Innovate Gambia, Serigne Omar Lo, will be training the participants. For him, there are a lot of creative young Gambians, but due to lack of facilities like creative art schools, it is difficult for them to be successful enough to compete in international markets.
We've created a good program, a solid program, that would help them get from the different stages. As Fatim mentioned, there are 3 stages. You have ideation, emerging, and then you have scaling, like the 3 different aspects of these business, because the expanding businesses are trying to scale. The emerging businesses, maybe they're trying to expand. Then then you have the ideation stage where they're just trying to get the business idea together. So we have a vast group of people. So what we're trying to do is see what the needs are for each of them and give it to them.
Fatu Samba of the Gambia Talents Promotion is a participant.
Innovation is part of what we do in the creative arts, being a journalist, being a media professional. Anything you do, if you're not creative, people will not see the inner part of you. And this training will help me network with colleagues, and it will also give me the opportunity to know more about the creative arts and other people, their struggles, and I can add to mine and develop myself.
Innovate Gambia, the implementing organization for the 1-year Andandor Creative Industries program, seeks to foster and elevate digital transformation and economic development in the country. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko. We will go for a short commercial break, and when we come back, the news continues with some more local news stories. Do stay tuned. Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News. Now, a 40-foot container of medical supplies and pharmaceuticals was presented to the Ministry of Health by ChildFund Gambia on Monday. The story by Loli M. Kamara, narrated by Momudu Lamin Choi.
The donation was made through MAP International, a US-based humanitarian organization, and arrives just as the country is battling with the coronavirus disease. The items include face shield and lab coats for healthcare workers. Receiving the items, Karamba Keta, the Deputy Permanent Secretary at Ministry of Health, while thanking ChildFund Gambia, outlined that this is not the first time the ministry receives such valuable donations.
Having an institution that recognizes and stands by the ministry to be able to provide quality of care to the population of the Gambia is one to be actually appreciated. And Musu and team, we really thank you very much on behalf of the Honorable Minister, on behalf of the Permanent Secretary, and on behalf of the entire Ministry of Health and the Gambian population. We know very well that when you say service delivery, you don't only talk of human being, but you also talk of materials. Train how to call it doctor in the world from any recognized university. The person cannot operate without the meaningful equipment that are needed.
Bambaning Sabali, the Director of Pharmaceutical Services, said they have a long partnership and are always in consultation with ChildFund Gambia with regards to the type of medical items they need.
Because the items they are bringing are of valuable items, and they contribute a lot in ensuring that the Gambian people receive quality health services at our health facilities. In this COVID response, these items will be much needed, and I want to assure them once more that we'll ensure that they reach the target population, and the Gambian health workers will be the #1 beneficiaries of this donation.
The country director of ChildFund Gambia, Musukuta Komaba, says her institution is delighted to give out such support, which she describes as a worthy venture in the fight against COVID-19. She added that since the outbreak of the virus, ChildFund Gambia have been supporting communities and schools with sanitary materials, and more than $5.6 million has been given to 3,758 families.
It is an establishment fact that in this time of COVID-19, the health systems of even the most advanced countries have been confronted with a series of challenges, both in terms of human and material resources, much more ours. For that reason, we at ChildFund are of the belief that, despite not being the first of its kind, these pharmaceuticals and medical subtypes will help address some of the existing pressing issues the Ministry of Health is confronting.
ChildFund Gambia is a non-profit organization working towards a world where every child is free to live at their fullest potential, no matter where they are from or what challenges they face. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, Qtv News.
Watermelon is abundantly available in markets as its season begins. Amidst the coronavirus pandemic, our reporter Omar P. Jallo went to find out how and whether the traders and customers are adhering to the COVID-19 preventive measures. Here is the report.
Watermelon is delicious, refreshing and high in vitamin C, vitamin A, and has other health benefits. Sellers can be seen in streets, especially within the Greater Banjul area and the West Coast region. Usman Ba sells melon along the Carava Avenue. When asked about what preventive hygienic methods he is using to prevent the spread of the COVID-19, this is what he had to say.
Because mingi hora ni simi fecci. Hay sinafi o coronado simi fecci saro mi wade hore puso abi ko dum atorno.
We wash our hands clean. We also clean the tables and plates we use. We also wash the fruit with clean water before we split it. We do cover it with a plastic bag. We also don't allow our customers to touch the pieces with their hands. They will have to choose by pointing at the one they want to buy. Mamadou Saliu Jallo, an other watermelon seller, says the challenges they are facing. Business is not booming this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. Many people are not working, so people don't have money. Some people complain that the prices are high, but that is not our fault. We buy it at high price, and we have to get profit to be able to sustain our families. Despite the numerous health benefits, most people believe watermelon traders are ripping off customers with high prices. Vitamin A in melons helps our immune system. A recent research suggests that the consuming of watermelon may help to reduce the risk of colon cancer and lower blood pressure. Abdurrahman Jah, who sometimes buy melon, talks about the health benefits of eating the fruit.
Watermelon to me is a fruit which is natural. Everybody loves eating fruit. Of course, I'm a fan of eating food. To me, it's more important because the way people are buying it in the Gambia, to me, it's like a privilege. Like when you go to other countries, you hardly see something like this. So to me, that always what instigates me to buying it, and I've get used to it when I'm in the Gambia, to be honest.
Kalilu Koli, an other customer, has this advice for buyers. We should not compromise our health, especially in this time of the coronavirus. People should buy the whole fruit and split it for themselves, because you don't know whether these sellers wash their hands or not. There is no evidence to date of viruses that causes respiratory illnesses being transmitted via food or food packaging. Coronavirus cannot multiply in food. They need an animal or human host to multiply. However, as scientists are still researching to know more about this new disease, no one should take chances when it comes to following the WHO health guidelines. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
We will take another short commercial break, and when we come back, we will take a look at international and sports news. Do stay tuned. Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News in International News. In his new papal encyclical, Pope Francis has expressed his dismay over what he described as market capitalism, calling for more human solidarity in dealing with the global issues such as the coronavirus pandemic. And Sumana Esonyasi has the rest of that.
Outlining his vision for a post-pandemic world, Pope Francis, in a 70-page encyclical titled Fratelli Tutti, which means brothers all, says COVID-19 has shown that free market policies cannot solve all of humanity's direst needs. He says more human solidarity is needed to address injustices caused by economic inequity and other vices such as climate change. He also denounced the magic theories of market capitalism as the only solution to societal problems, and went on to say that there is little appreciation of the fact that the alleged spillover does not resolve the inequality that gives rise to new forms of violence threatening the fabric of society. There were those who would have had us believe that freedom of the market was sufficient to keep everything secure after the pandemic hit, he wrote. Pope Francis also says that it is imperative to have a proactive economic policy directed at promoting an economy that favors productive diversity and business creativity and makes it possible for jobs to be created, not caught. And he reiterated calls for the redistribution of wealth, saying those with much should administer it for the good of all. However, he clarified that he was not proposing an authoritarian and abstract universalism. In an echo of sentiment expressed by many others, he also hoped the coronavirus pandemic, which has killed more than 1 million people worldwide, would inspire a reassessment of global priorities. Other topics addressed by the Pope include social media, nationalism and war. In a significant break with tradition, he rejected the Catholic Church's own doctrine of justifying war as a means of legitimate defense, saying the doctrine was applied too broadly throughout history and is no longer viable. Ansumane Sonyasi for Qtv News.
Sunday, the 4th of October, was World Animal Day and is celebrated every year to raise awareness about improving the welfare standards of animals around the world. Omar P. Jallo has the rest of that.
The day celebrates the relationship between human and the animal kingdom. Several events are organized to mark the day and draw attention to animal issues, as well as to motivate people to come forward and save animals. The day is for domesticated animals, wild animals, endangered species, and those threatened by environmental devastation or lack of protection. In the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust celebrated the event at Makasutu in the West Coast region. Dr. Qtv Dafe, the advisor to the Animal Welfare Advocates Association in the Gambia, spoke about the importance of the day. Animals played important roles in our lives. They not only provide support and enrich our lives, but also give companionship. The day is also a reminder not just to love the animals in our homes, but also to appreciate and respect all living things that are a part of our ecosystem. Dr. Dafe also spoke of the need to have legislation that will recommend and protect the welfare of all animals as the surest way to end their maltreatment by human beings. The Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust aims to improve the health, welfare and productivity of all animals, especially working animals. The trust often organizes educational programs in schools for rural children and provide training for farmers and local professionals in animal welfare. Langbaba Cisse is the general manager of the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust. Animals cannot talk in the conventional way that human beings communicate with each other. However, there is one day where we can all give a voice to the animals who cannot speak for themselves. This day provides an opportunity to serve animals and be a part of something special. Reporting for Qtv News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
And in sports news. On a day that showed two of the most successful English clubs, Manchester United and Liverpool, suffered their heaviest defeats in recent years, Kenyan long-distance runner Eliud Kipchoge, the hot favourite, was beaten in the London Marathon. Mamadou Gajaga has the rest of that.
World record holder Eliud Kipchoge was beaten in the London Marathon by the unfancied Shura Kitata of Ethiopia, who won in a trailing sprint finish to claim an unexpected victory. Four-time winner Kipchoge was the clear favourite but fell behind with 2 laps to go and finished a disappointing 8th. Ethiopian Kitata pushed ahead of Kenya's Vincent Kipchumba in the home straight to finish in 2 hours, 5 minutes and 41 seconds. Kipchoge, who last lost the marathon in 2013, said, "I am really disappointed. I don't know what happened. The last 15 kilometers, I felt my right ear was blocked and I had a cramp in my hip and leg. It just happened in the race. I started well. It's really cold, but I don't blame the conditions." But the 35-year-old Kenyan, who set a world record of 2 hours, 1 minute and 39 seconds in 2018, never took the opportunity to pull away from an 8-strong leading pack in a slow start. Kitata pushed the pace with 15 minutes to go, and Kipchoge looked increasingly uncomfortable as he fell back. Others dropped off too, and eventually Kitata rounded the final corner in the home straight with compatriot Cisse Lima and Kipchumba. The London Marathon, rescheduled from its traditional April date because of the coronavirus pandemic, took place for elite runners only over 19 laps around St. James Park. The usual mass participation event happened virtually because of the COVID-19 restrictions, while there were no spectators cheering on the elite runners. Mamadou Gajaga, Qtv News.
Merseyside club Everton have completed the signing of talented Gambia-born teenager Imam Jan from Swedish side BK Häcken on a 3-year deal until the end of June 2023. Mamadou Gajaga again.
Jan, who turned 17 on Thursday, will join the club's academy and will be eligible to play once his minor application, the registration process for young players from EU countries, has been approved by FIFA. Born in the Gambia, Jan moved to Sweden aged 6 and has represented his adopted country at under-17 level. The midfielder revealed his pride to join Everton, and he is confident that he is at the right club to continue his development. "It is a dream that has come true," Jan told Everton's official website. "Everton is really a big club and I am so happy to sign. The club has a lot of history and they want to help me become a better player and a better person too, which is what attracted me. It's an exciting time for Everton, so there was no doubt that I wanted to sign for the club. They made me feel wanted. I spoke a lot to the director of football, Marcel Brands, and he told me about the club's ambitions, and I am more than ready to work 100% to get to where I want to be with Everton. The academy is one of the best in football, and you can see from the first team that there is a clear pathway which provides an inspiration. The facilities at USM Finch Farm are amazing, and the welcome I have heard has been fantastic. Everyone here is so friendly. I am now ready to work hard and do all I can to keep developing." Jan joins the club as they sit at the top of the Premier League, having won their opening 4 games of the season. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
Before we end this news bulletin, let's take a quick look at our main stories. President Barrow has visited more development projects, including laying the foundation stone for the replacement of the burned-down Basse market, and has inspected ongoing works at the Basse and Fatoto bridges, which are part of the wider roads and bridges project in the Upper River region. A creative industries accelerator program to train 30 promising entrepreneurs has been launched by the Youth Empowerment Project and their implementing partner. The Ministry of Health receives a donation of a 40-foot container of medical supplies and pharmaceutical supplies. In international news, Pope Francis has become the most senior religious figure to express dismay at the way capitalism has responded to the coronavirus pandemic. World Animal Day was celebrated on 4th October. We looked at how it was marked in the Gambia. And in sports, on a weekend of sporting shocks, we heard how football giants Manchester United and Liverpool were trashed and how the hot favourite for London Marathon was soundly beaten. Current English Premier League high flyers Everton have signed a Gambia-born youngster. Well, that is all we have for you in this edition of QTV News. Join us tomorrow, same time for more news. Thanks for watching and do stay safe.